Hello and welcome to Kedrick Farms. We're back with another episode of the Minnesota Millennial Farmer Map by Mapper's Paradise. And today we're progressing through spring. We've got to get our planters set up today, get it filled up with chemical and seed, and get everything hooked up and ready to go. So we're going to go ahead and start with that. I think we're also going to have to do a little bit of animal care as normal. And so we're just going to pull this out here into the middle of the yard, I think, and unfold it. This is a new DB60 that we just acquired. And I'm actually kind of looking to see if there's any logical points to put a liquid fill point on here. I'm not sure there is. I know. I think I forgot to hook the hoses up. Yep. Will it unfold now? Is there a PTO too? Okay, there's not. So there we go. So now I can unfold. There we go. I know that I think it's JHG Modding is working on a version of the DB60 that is going to have manure system support, but I don't think this one does. And I'm just looking to see if there's like a logical place I could go and add it myself using the awesome tutorial that I saw by Perma's Modding put out a tutorial on how to do this. Maybe, I mean, this is a trailer light hitch, I'm pretty sure, but I could call that a hose connector and hook that up maybe. Well, unfortunately we don't have one right now, but I'm curious to see if I can unload fertilizer out of this trailer without using the hose system. I don't think that I can. So I can always drive it back here and fill it up from the tank. But I thought, why not give it a quick shot? And since the fertilizer tanks are up here on the middle, I'm assuming that I would need to park the trailer next to the fertilizer tanks. So let's give that a shot. Let's see here. I need to get alongside there. See if I can do this without hitting the tree or anything. There we go. Alright, we're just going to put it right in there. We're going to jump back in the tractor and see that this is not going to work. Yeah, I didn't really expect that to work. Alright, it was worth a try, right? Right. I'm almost positive I read that these trailers only work with the manure system. I could be wrong. We're just going to park him here to make life easy. But what we are going to do is we need to get our seed tender out to fill this up with. And I believe our pickup got left back here on the other farm. And so what I'm going to do is we're going to tell AutoDrive to take our truck back to the main farm. And while that's going, we are going to check on our cows. So I'm just going to bring this out here to this other entrance because I recorded a new like two-way path, and I would expect it to be able to get me back to the farmyard pretty quick. Whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. There we go. So yeah, he's gonna just take off and go back up to the farm, and we're gonna run over here and grab the Minneapolis Moline and toss one of these last two hay bales that we've got over there. We're really hoping that the grass starts to get to a point where we can harvest it soon, because otherwise we are going to run out of feed for our cows likely in the next day, I think. which is a problem because technically I don't think the ground's warm enough to plant yet. And so we've got one more day of spring here to do some planting in. And I don't think that grass is going to be ready to harvest until the day after that. So lots of projects to do, lots of things to do, but we are running out of time here with our cows. Now the good news is I think that the grass is starting to grow out in the field, and so theoretically it's not the best for their health, but I think they can just graze on the grass that's out in the field. And so let's drop that in there. And we'll come over here, fill up the water. Good deal. Check on the cows real quick. Yep, we've got some good amount of food in there. They're starting to get fat. I did look up offline for seasons for the beef cows. I want to get them between 1,200 and 1,400 is kind of the sweet spot. So these have got, a couple of days left here probably to get up to where we need them to be. And so I think that the idea there will be to separate the kind of buy-sell by a day or two, and always just take 6 up at a time to sell them and bring 6 new ones back, and just keep rotating through that way. And once we get a little bit of silage up here for food, we'll be set to last through the winter. So luckily we had a pretty mild winter this first in-game winter, so not too worried about keeping up with the cows. And so I think we're good here. So let me jump back over here, and it looks like our truck is just pulling up into the yard. We'll get a handy message up here when that happens. And so we're going to go ahead and turn that off and just bring him over here to the shed and see what we can do to hook up this seed tender. I'm super excited to give this a shot. I've got some dry fertilizer over there as well. That'll come in handy if the air drill needs it. Oh, we bounced off the door. That was, whoops. Whoops. Okay. And voila. Alright, let's just squeeze out here under the door. And I'm trying to remember which side this is going to open on. Okay, it's going to go out on that side. So I'm going to sneak around here. And I think this is one where I actually have to go open the covers. So let me get this lined up a little bit nicer here. And then we'll run back over here. And push N. There we go. No, I didn't exactly line that up well. Well, that's interesting. The little things like that that are hard to control sometimes. And it looks like that's all full of seed now. So I'm gonna go ahead and close that guy out. We'll jump back in here, and yes, it is definitely full of seed. So we're gonna fold this guy back up and take him over to the fertilizer point there and fill him up with the liquid fertilizer. I'm going to bring this guy over here and just kind of park him out of the way. And at some point we need to get our skid loader back over here so that we can put more seed in the seed tender. I don't think I'm gonna need seed anytime soon though. We're just gonna take this guy right now though and finish filling him up. And then we're gonna get the big air drill hooked up as well because I really want to get the course play going on that big field. What happened with my door? Why is my door wide open? Can I close it? I cannot. What is going on? Wow, that's a lot of options. Why is it opening the door? Hello? I'm not sure. What's going on? Closed. Oh. Okay, that does that. What the? I've broken my tractor somehow. I don't know what's going on. Anyways, we're just going to ignore that for a moment. We're in the yard, it's fine if the door's open, right? Oh, that's what I was going to try. Hang on. I wanted to, with the tractor, or the seeder, or the planter filled up, I wanted to just see if I could get a fertilizer trigger on this trailer, but I cannot, so that's what I expected. Not surprised. I will need to either find a different DB60 that's already hosed up, wait for the new one to come out, or wire it up myself in some way. I should probably do the latter, but we'll see how much time we have. Yeah, it's not going to happen this season because we're likely going to start planting even as early as later this episode. We'll see. So I'm going to put you right over here. I'm just going to... I don't want you in the way. I'm going to park you right over here next to the pickup. Boom. Now we've got to get the 9RT going up here. So I've got him in here, I believe. Yes, I do. We've got so much machinery I can't remember where we store it all now. It's a good problem to have. And we're going to take him over to here. Now let's just double check because it's been a while since I looked at the stats for this seeder. This is a 500 horsepower seeder, so this 9RT should be able to handle this no problem. Yeah. Perfect. So the ground's a little cold to put crops in still. I think I can put the crops in. They just won't germinate until the ground is 50 degrees Fahrenheit. It was still low 30s when the clock ticked over today, but it looks like things are going to be pretty good from here. So maybe once things dry out a little bit in the afternoon hours here, we will go ahead and start putting some beans in over there, I think. Just to get started on that. So if we look at the map here, we're going to put beans in this field because it was corn last time. I've got grass in field 1 right now. And so after we cut the grass, I'm going to try and put corn back in here. And then I can't actually remember what we had in field 7. And so let's hop in the Mahindra here and go see what was actually in that field last time. I could look at the map, but it's more fun to drive over there real quick. Because from a crop rotation perspective, I could put corn in twice, so even if it was corn, but I think it was beans. Yeah, this looks like it was beans. So we'll be good to go here. So we're going to put corn in field 7, and then we'll also probably try to put a late corn crop in this grass field. If I look, I can plant corn all the way up to here. And so we'll probably try to put some corn in after we get a cut of grass off of this field. We really need something to generate either silage or really just hay for our cows. We need some food. We got to keep them fed. So that's going to be the plan: is soybeans in the big field, corn in the other 2, and after we get the grass off of this one. So let's go ahead and shut this back up, and I'm going to jump ahead into the next day. So with the land drying up and the temperature getting over 50, we're going to go ahead and get this guy started on planting this field, I think. So if I bring up course play here real quick, I'm going to go into fieldwork mode. I'm going to generate a course for field 3. I'm going to do, 2 headland passes, and everything else should be fine by default. Generate a course, looks pretty straightforward. And of course we want to start at the first waypoint, so I'm going to go over here and get turned around so that he doesn't have to do any fancy maneuvering. And we're going to tell him to just giddy up. Now, oh, wait. Stop. Stop. I need to set this to soybeans. Alright, now we're going to let him drive course. And I do not have a lot of seed or fertilizer in here right now. I'm kind of curious to see how far he's going to get. I don't want to put a whole bunch in here because I'm just going to have to unload it again afterwards. And so if we get full, we'll bring some more over. We can always load some up in the back of the pickup truck and bring it over. But I think this is going to go for a little bit, although I'm watching these bushels on soybeans drop pretty fast. And so I don't even know if he's going to make it around the headland at this rate, but we've got quite a bit of dry seed and fertilizer that I could bring out and put in here. I guess I can bring the seed and fertilizer out in the seed tender too. I would just have to empty one half of the seed tender to get into putting fertilizer in there. So we've got a couple of pallets of fertilizer. So maybe a good thing to do would be to go get the skid loader and bring it back to the farm so that I can get the seed tender loaded up with additional seed and fertilizer as needed. So this guy seems to be on his way, and so let's go ahead and do that. So we'll just jump back over onto the farm here for a second, right into the pickup truck. We're just going to leave it right here in the yard because we're going to be right back. And we're going to drive ourselves over to the animal farm. And so I'm kind of curious what the game thinks is the fastest way to get to the animal farm now that we've added all of our courses in. Super curious. Oh, it's still gonna, oh no, it's gonna go left. Okay, good. So I'm assuming this is gonna take me down the dirt road here through the pig farm. We'll find out in just a couple minutes here. My money is going down like crazy. That's why my why the fertilizer isn't going down. I must have buy fertilizer turned on. I do. So we're going to go ahead and turn that off, save some money, since we've got quite a bit of it in the shed that we want to put in that seeder before we start having the worker buy things for us. And so a while ago off camera, I actually added a course here going through the middle of the pig farm, since we do own the pig farm now. Hey, one of my cows has found his way over onto the pig farm. Interesting. Okay, well, we're gonna add that to the bug list. So we're coming back up on the farm with our handy dandy skid loader here. Ran into some small technical difficulties at the other farm, so we didn't get to see me loading it up, which is fine, because it was painful as always. Whoa, because I'm forgetting to use my steering wheel when I should. So let's park here. Let's go ahead and put the ramp down. I'm gonna get this shed opened up here as long as I'm out of the vehicle. There we go. And we ran out of seed with the seeder. Didn't even make it all the way around the field. And so we need to go ahead and get that hooked up here. And let's slip this up. I love how it takes my hat off when I get into the skid loader. So I'm gonna just drive this right into here. Where do I want to leave the bale forks? I guess I could put them in the corner. Oh, there's a door there. Let's put them right here on this wall. Oops, I had it in the wrong mode. There, we'll put them right here. Perfect. And then let's grab our, what do you call it? Pilot fork. Boop, boop, boop. Oh, we are still having just a smidge of difficulty with learning how to drive this skid loader. We're getting a little bit better. Probably help if I change my view around, get a little bit closer. And what I need, or what I want to do, is put some fertilizer in the seed tender, but unfortunately there's a bunch of seed in there that's going to make it very difficult. So what we're going to do instead is, the seeder ran out of seed, not fertilizer yet. And so we're going to run some seed out there first and see if I can at least get the first half of this trailer empty. And then we'll come back and pick up some fertilizer and be ready to go for the next time. Now, there's part of me that would like to just drive straight across the plowed field to get to him, but realistically that is not a good idea. And so we're just going to skirt around the outside here. We're going to see how good I can drive. And actually, I'm kind of curious. Can we go back in cab? Oh, my field of view is just so awkward. Part of it is also like I'm sitting so far back. It just feels odd. I have to watch some videos for some of the other streamers that do in-cab driving more, and see if I can figure out what field of view they're using. Because it feels like they've always got a very wide field of view compared to what I do. So maybe I just need to check my settings. Maybe there's a different way that I can widen that out outside of just the one in-game setting. Either way, we've got our seeder here waiting for us. And so we're gonna pull up right alongside. It looks like the auger's on the other side. That's fine. We'll just sneak over here. Get this arm out. So deceiving. I was like, I gotta be right over it, right? No. What's going on? Gonna drop some seeds off? Maybe not. Let's go up here and see what's going on. Okay, there's a ladder. I better be able to get up there. And that's definitely the seed. And this is there a button that I need to do? Oh, out for seeds. Type out seeds 1. We're out. Here, let me just see if I can put it a bit closer. Nope. What is going on? Okay, seriously. You should be working. Well, let me just see if this works. That doesn't work. Why is it always something? So if that's not going to work, the other thing I want to try is to just pull this up right alongside and then try from the seeder to see if he'll just pick it up out of the container next to him, kind of a thing. So let me just pull you up like right next to it. No dice. Okay, so we have one other option, which is, and this is really unfortunate, I was really looking forward to the seed tender being a thing we could use. Let me just see if this works with the arm in. Nope. Alright. So that's enough flailing around with this. We're going to take this back up to the yard and try something else. So with the seed tender not working out here for us right now, what we're gonna try is to bring the truck into the shop here, and we should have an option to essentially put pallets of seed in the back of the truck. And so if we bring it in here, usually I'm using the truck as my workshop, but there is a workshop in the shed here. And in order to use it, we just have to come in here and we're going to customize our truck. And I believe the service we can put in is seeds for service. Hit customize. It's pretty cool screenshots. And now we've got 2 pallets of seed in the back of the truck. And so now I'm going to be able to go and fill up the truck with some seed. And then hopefully load into that from here. And so instead of trying to, I don't even know how I would get it out of the seed tender with the truck set up like this. We're just gonna back in here and grab some right out of the shed. And so I should be able to get 2 pallets. Perfect. And we're gonna run this right out to that cedar. Alright, so here we are next to the cedar, and am getting an overload option, or I was getting an overload option for a moment there. I just gotta find it again. I think I knew I gotta get like up on top of this thing. It's not letting me get up there though. Very odd. Oh, there it is. And then I can just push those right into that auger. And that went really fast. And I'm really curious to see how much seed 2,000 seeds is going to get us. Not a whole lot, but more than we started with. And so if I get that guy going, I can, whoops, wrong button. Tell this guy to keep driving. And I'm just really hoping that he'll make it back to the beginning part of the field again here, and we'll load him up. I should have loaded him up before we left. I just didn't think that we had, or that it would take that much seed. Like, this tank is huge, and so it goes for a long time.
Like a broken soul in a wonderland without angels. That is how I feel when the mirror shows me a stranger. Yeah. And I know they're just fragments of a world where your absence all I get to see. Take me back to the planet where you and I are still meant to be. 'Cause I'm incomplete when you ain't by my side, when you don't wake up next to me. Yeah, I'm incomplete. I need you here tonight to cover up these empty sheets. 'Cause I'm incomplete. Yeah, I'm incomplete.
So we could not have asked for better timing on the worker stopping and needing to be refilled. And so he needs a little bit of fertilizer this time, but we're also going to need to fill up his bushels. So we're going to start with the fertilizer and see if we can just drag that down here with the skid loader real quick. Grab a pallet. Bada boom. Let's see if we can do this in camera. Might be just a smidge difficult. Oh yeah. Get this down here. And this is the one that's like half full. Wish I could see behind me. There we go. Alright, now the question is, can I get this down here without crashing into anything? Okay, this is really hard to drive in cab. Oh, this guy only goes 11 miles an hour. We should probably bring the truck back and do it that way next time. Because I can do 2 at a time with the truck. I don't want to lose our pallet here. Funny thing is over there's a pallet unloader crane thing that I should probably learn how to use. Where's my camera? There we go. Getting some fertilizer in. This thing is massive too. Oops. It's just humongous. Am I sure that I got the right cart for this thing? I gotta check. I was bugging me while we were planting there. Like, this is a 71-300. This is a 79-05. It's definitely the smaller of the two. Impressive. Alright. $500 on new vehicles. What? I didn't buy a new vehicle. Oh, I might have made a change to my pickup. That's probably what that was. Go, go, skid loader. $11 miles an hour in reality is pretty fast, but for some reason it just seems so slow in Farm Simulator. Alright, so for getting things on the forks, I guess I'm finding that it is actually easier to do it in cab. And let's go backwards, not forwards when we want to get out. Whoa. Watch where you're going, buddy. Alright, so this thing is way easier to control with the steering wheel. We're doing a lot less jerking around. Just need to get used to it still, so we're getting there. And so yeah, I think the goal here today is going to be to get this thing filled back up with a little bit of seed and fertilizer and send him on his way. And then yeah, we're still searching for appropriate mechanisms to load up our stuff. So we just don't have any great options right now, because I still need a fertilizer tank that I could take out to the DB60 in its current state. And the seed tender only works with the DB60. It doesn't work with this seeder. And so we're just, it's like one small problem after another. I'd like to just get a nice solid setup that we don't have to worry about. So I'm still thinking that through. Definitely open to suggestions. So I mean, you guys are seeing the problems that I'm running into. Would love to hear your suggestions on what you think the best way to solve those problems are. I think for the DB60, I think the easiest method is just going to be to put a refill point on there, even if it's something that doesn't look perfect. Because while I can handle all of the coding aspects of the modding and the XML and stuff, when it comes to actual 3D modeling, not really my thing. So if I were to add a what do you want to call it, a hose trigger onto the seeder, I would just be attaching it to some random spot on the frame, because I do not have the skills necessary to actually model hoses and have a connector and all those things. So that's option A, which I'm thinking, unless somebody knows of a good DB60 that already has the hoses hooked up, the manure system hookup. And that's going to get us into being able to do liquid fertilizer in it. And then the seed tender still works for seed for the DB60. And then we just need to figure out what we would do with this big thing, if we're even going to keep this thing. I'm thinking maybe we get rid of it, since we're not going to really need to do wheat at a big scale. I think that was more of a one-time thing to give it a shot. I think corn and soybeans is probably more what we're going to stick to, which I can do with a regular planter. And so I think it'd be easier to just run 2 DB60s than it would be to keep this thing around, to be honest. So that's one thought that I'm having right now. The other thing that we're still working out is well, how we're gonna handle all the grass and silage and those kind of things. We've got that mod that I'm waiting to try out, but that's pretty small. So I'm just kind of curious to see how that's going to work with the animals. And if we're going to do silage, if we're going to do some corn silage over in 16, I'm going to need to track down a silage harvester at some point. I've got a pretty good modern one that I think I'm going to use. But I've got to figure out a good silage trailer or a loading wagon of some kind. And so I'll be looking for some recommendations on silage when we get to that point, because that's actually something that I never really did personally. I've seen it done kind of at a distance, but never got a chance to do corn silage in real life. So really curious to see if there's a good American style trailers for that. The silage that I saw done, we actually just drove the trucks right out in the field next to the silage harvester. So kind of curious to see what people with some experience in Midwest US would recommend for doing silage. And this isn't going in here at all. Oh, because I have the auger in the wrong spot. 1 second. We know what to do. That should do it. And then if we just come here. There we go. All right. So with that, I think we're going to fire the worker back off and let him try to get around this here field again, because we now have quite a bit more fertilizer and seed in here than we did before. And away we go. Oh man, we gotta outrun the tractor and get this pickup out of the way. Go, 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 go. Ah, we're gonna get hit. Oh, just in the nick of time. So with that equipment cleaned up and off of the field, I think that this is probably a good spot to wrap up this episode. We're going to let this worker get back up to the farmyard entrance here and get him shut down and in a position where we can load him up with a bit more seed and fertilizer, because we're burning through this seed especially pretty quick. And so I want to get him a little bit more seed before we just set him off to do the work. And so we'll let the worker help us out, get the rest of this field seeded, and while we're doing the next episode, and we'll go get some of our other planting in with the DB60, which is all ready to go. So with that, I think that that's all for today. Kedrick, out.